Hello, my name is Dan Johnson, and welcome back to the Who podcast. This month, we are going to be doing another commentary track, and today we're talking about vampires in Venice. Which do you like spoilers without context?
Do
You,
I
you
like spoilers without
no, have
context?
you heard of like spoilers without context?
No, I don't think I know what you're about.
Okay, right. So, without spoiling it, but giving you a hint, I this episode is the one of those episodes, um, that as an 8-year-old, it was a bit of a fascinating watch, um, but was also something that you'd never watch with your grandparents. And as you get older, you kind of come to dislike parts of it because of how weirdly horny it is, and it just feels very childish. But right, yeah, but
So am
that's
I going to enjoy the episode then?
I think you would, based on how you've enjoyed for some reason kissing of between the Doctor and Amy and
I
things
just
like that.
like watching shows with this tension.
Sexual
You know what
tension.
I'm like? I see romance in everything. So when I see literally when the camera's really close and I'm like yes.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm like.
Yeah.
But
But I probably should
so I
actually
hope there's a lot
introduce
of
you.
today I think on this episode I'm gonna do a kiss count to see how many times I say kiss.
Personally, how many times you say
How many
it, you
times I say
notice it. Right, okay. That's going to be interesting in this one.
it.
Um, but anyway, yeah. So of course, this time, my co-host for these commentary tracks, someone who has never watched Doctor Who before, until recently when we started watching them, and that is Amy. Amy, how are you feeling about Doctor Who currently? What do you remember, if anything? Because it has been a while since we watched it last.
It's been ages. We always have big intervals between it, but that makes sense. Um, I'm not as I thought I was going to hate it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I thought I was going to be like, oh, for God's sake,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm being dragged to do this, and no, I wasn't. But I didn't think I'd be a fan. But actually, it's not too bad. I just think I think because it's so hyped, when people see things like that, people go, oh, it's
Yeah.
overrated because so many people watch it.
Mm-hmm.
People just assume it's a shit show, and not just specifically with Doctor Who. It's like that with loads of shows.
Yeah. Is
It's
it?
like
Is
that
in?
with go on.
Do you like? I watched Pulp Fiction a little while ago.
Yeah,
I didn't quite like it
I've never seen
as
it.
much as I thought I would. I thought it was very odd. I kind of got what it was doing, but I thought this would be better.
Is
um,
that the one with Joe Travolta in it?
yeah, and Uma Thurman. Is it Uma
Yeah,
Thurman?
I've never seen it, but I've heard things about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's really popular film.
Tell
People
me.
consider it one of the best films they've ever seen. My cousin, when I was younger, had a poster of it in his room. Um, and I used to ask what it was about, and now I've seen it. Kind of wish I never asked, because
Was it
that
that
film
bad?
it's weird. There is some weird things, but I suppose
Nice.
it's one of those things where if you develop a nostalgia element to it, and over time things can grow on you, I suppose.
Hmm.
And because of that, I think that with these episodes, especially, I think for me, Will, and for many people around my age or those that watch Doctor Who during this time, and I think this goes for every fan, depending on what era they've joined or what era speaks to them, is that these ones. I mean, David Tennant is my favorite Doctor, but this is Doctor Who when I began to become competent at watching television and how television worked,
Yeah, because you
and able to
grew up with it.
critique it slightly more,
Yeah,
and follow storylines rather than before I was like, oh look, monster. And I think
that's
that,
still me now.
yeah. Oh look, a weeping angel. Yeah.
Don't.
But
You will hear this. Sorry, viewers. You will hear this
you're gonna have
during
to,
the thing.
well,
I'm
no,
not telling them.
it's like the fishing trip in Gavin and Stacey. That this is
Yeah.
our fishing trip.
Basically, I have an anecdote that I told Dan about a few days before that involved the Weeping Angel, um, and I'm kind of traumatized now from said thing.
Yeah, and now we
And
shall make reference to it as
see,
much
now
as
I
we
kind
can.
of feel like I should tell the story, but
I really wouldn't. It will be cut.
why? Maybe your viewers want to hear that.
They don't. No,
You
they do
sure?
not. I'm
You
sure.
sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay.
But yes, so previously we've looked at yeah, when you're into all of these things as me and Will are, we're a big fan of David Tennant because David Tennant is for me is my doctor. But this is when I
And
could
it's fit.
critique it, when I could watch it better and I understand it more. So all of these episodes in series 5, and even the ones that I don't think are that good, um, if I look at them objectively, I still have a sort of a fondness of them, just because they're part of this aesthetic that I've grown to love, and I think that's why I think being objective with something like this for me can be very difficult because I think with a lot of newer stuff you can be objective easier because you're not quite linked to it. But with this stuff, I do struggle to critique it.
I understand that.
Well,
I'm
I
like
mean,
that with a
some
lot
of
of
them
things.
stand out as definite. I think I can see faults in them, but I still can't help but say, actually, I quite like this one. It doesn't hinder me very much. But no, we've looked at 5 episodes now. We're on to the 6th. This one is uh this one's Vampires in Venice. So I wonder what this one could possibly be about. I but so previously we looked
I'm
at
thinking zombies.
you're thinking zombie
Yeah.
werewolves and
Yeah.
I think it's probably set on a space station and
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. But we've looked at Weeping Angels. We've had stories of like I was going to say morality or values, I suppose. With episode 2, which is one that you weren't very fond of.
No.
But you did like episode 3, which is not what I was expecting. And to be honest, I wasn't I thought you'd like the Weeping Angel 2-parter a bit more than you did.
It was all right.
I think
I think I'd warm to
yeah.
it if I watched it again. It's like, I think I've said this point before, but when you watch something for the first time, you miss a lot of things especially because this is such a new thing for me,
Hmm.
this kind of genre of show. So I'm taking in a lot of things. I'm trying to understand certain parts. But if I watched it a second time, I would definitely notice a lot more that I've missed. So I do feel like it's something I could warm to. There's some episodes where I'm like, no, but I would probably warm to it if I watched it again.
Yeah, I think that even and I was talking about how you can objectify this series a bit more. I think critique this series a bit more. I still think
Jesus Christ,
that
Dan, it's not a woman.
oh, series 5. But I think that it's very interesting how I kind of picked up on things, but then as I've gone through, I've gone, actually, that's how that connects. It's very clever because do you know, like Sherlock? You've seen Sherlock,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Oh, don't even start. I love it so much. I'm trying to get James to watch it. Me
Uh,
and James are gonna watch it soon.
All right. So Stephen Moffat, who is
Yeah, I love
currently
him.
he's the showrunner of Doctor Who.
Yeah. Is Mark
Uh,
not in this bit?
Mark Gatiss wrote episode 3, which is one that you said you enjoyed.
Yeah.
With the Daleks, and Mark Gatiss does write a few episodes during Matt Smith's era,
Yeah.
and beyond. But Stephen Moffat is really good at sort of foreshadowing and making it so that episodes can be watched again and you can find different things about them.
He's a great writer.
Yeah, so he's a
So
really
is
good
Mark.
writer in that respect. And I think that the overarching plan within this series, I think, is brilliant. But if because of the gap that we're watching them on, I think that it's almost been a year, if not a year, since we did one of these, since we did our first one.
No, it's not. No, it hasn't, has it?
I think it might have been June-ish.
No.
It might have been a bit later, actually, maybe July, but it was summer last year.
Was
Um,
it actually?
I
Oh my
think so,
god.
yeah.
This feels
Uh,
like it's only just started to me.
it doesn't feel like that long. Now I think about it, it doesn't feel like we've been doing it for that long. But we've done 6 episodes. That's been 6 months. And obviously you haven't been on every other month. You haven't been on every month, so
That's very true.
it's yeah. But Moffat is brilliant at writing things that always link in, and he's brilliant at creating these webs. And I think this series is. I think that's why I felt like this would be good for you because you sort of understood that Moffat does that. Right. So if you're watching this at home, you have to watch this on the DVD version of the initial release. So you talk about the volumes or the big box set things. If you're watching this on the on the steelbooks, because they're like newer releases, they've got slightly different edits for some reason, but I can't quite pick apart what's wrong with the edits or what's different about the edits. But there is something different apparently, which is an issue that we've had before, is where I've been quicker than you have and things like that because I haven't noticed those issues. But now that you have a disc of your own that you've borrowed off me, and I have obviously another one, it's meant that we can actually watch the episodes properly, and I hope that you can do so at home. But Amy, are you ready? Have you got the controller?
I am on the button.
Okay, I need to reach around my laptop. Do you want to do a countdown this time, or shall I?
I'll do it.
Very well.
So we'll do it on 1. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, look. Venice. I thought this would be set in a space station. I've just done the same joke twice. Didn't even realize. Have you seen Peaky Blinders before?
Pardon?
Have you seen Peaky Blinders?
Yes.
Of course, that's Aunt Polly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bless her, R.I.P.
Yeah, she's a very good actress. But for me, I saw her in this first before.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peaky Blinders is a very good show. I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was pretty good. There is so much interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing how you react to it in this episode. Based on your reactions from what I've seen you react to before, there's some interesting stuff here.
That's weird.
It's very, very hard. Oh, because of the gap, I probably should point out
Good transition.
If you've forgotten. So they've been away for the past couple of episodes, and she is getting married. But
God, yeah.
But she tried to kiss the doctor, and now this is obviously his stag night, the night which is the night before his wedding, which feels like a bad idea. There we go. I love how awkward Matt Smith is as the doctor, or like how is the word sexually naive? Should we go with that word?
Oh. I said it before, I'll say it again. He needs a haircut.
To be honest, I think you may be right, but I think in 2011, I think you may be right, to be honest.
Yeah, he does. It's overgrown.
But for 2010, I don't think that. Well, for me anyway, I quite liked it when I was a kid. So and also I think each Doctor needs their own style in some respects. I think that if they all had similar haircuts and similar looks, then I don't think it would work very well. Uh, this episode is actually one of my written by one of my favorite writers for the show. I miss this TARDIS. I miss how bonkers it is. And kiss.
See, you're saying it now.
Oh, look, a goat.
I
I flipping hate goats.
love
Really
goats.
hate goats.
Really, I love
So,
them.
like I
I want to go to Venice.
have I told you the story when I was down south and there was a goat and I thought I'm gonna be brave, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it across this field with a goat in it. Go about halfway and my family are fine. They're not bothered about goats. The goat makes a funny noise and I have ran. I ran the other way. And my parents and my
I love
sister
them.
just turn around and I've gone and I'm standing on the edge of the field again.
I'm going to take you to a goat farm.
I don't, oh god, no. Do you know what it is?
Is it the noise?
No, well, yeah, but I think it's because when I was at a local ice cream place that has animals that we've mentioned earlier, obviously I can't say it because location. They had cows,
Oh
and they
yeah,
have
yes.
goats.
I've just clocked on what you mean. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
goats.
they have goats, and that's. I don't think I got spat on or like something that they did just freaked me out,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's why
triggered
I'm
you.
scared of goats. We'll had something very similar with a chicken, so that caused him to be scared of
Yeah,
chickens.
I've completely missed all of this.
Uh, it's just background on where they are. So.
2020.
Yeah, they're in a lockdown. I realized I and people ask me how I understood what a eunuch was.
Ugh, what? Oh, those dresses are horrible.
That's why. Well, it's supposed to be very gothic.
I know.
Is it gothic? Yeah, it's all going everything costume
Oh,
wise
cheeky.
is going for a certain
Oh.
Is it because they were leaning over a
No,
wall?
no.
To be honest, Dan, I'm not. Yeah, the dresses are not great. They look
Oh shit. Oh
better.
yeah, he's looking for his
Daughter, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
There she is.
Oh my god, they're hissing.
It's a goat.
It's a goat. Oh,
Yeah. The way
okay.
he moves is so creepy. It's like slimy. It's horrible. There's many moments when he did, like Johnny was walking around her earlier. He kind of does this like weird slide move.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
wish the viewers could
slimy.
have seen what you did just then.
They can. There is a camera.
Is there?
Yeah. But you have to go to YouTube to see it.
Because they're now evil.
They're now evil. They are
Yes.
now a vampire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, you just need fangs and you'll fit in,
Yeah.
and a wig.
Just get some big canines on yourself and you'll be fine. Mummy's hydrating.
Why did that creep me out? Mummy's hydrating.
It is slimy in it. They're just
Mhm.
this relationship is like the way she plays it is well, it's intentional, obviously, but it's
Mm.
very creepy. Oh, here's another creepy bit coming up.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, let me just lay in your lap, mummy.
He needs a haircut as well.
His hair's fine. Everyone had long hair in 2010.
I know.
There was a trend of just having like sort of
Oh, I know. Yeah.
much longer hair.
I just don't like the trend.
I think that for me, a lot of the aesthetic of how I remember 2010 is because cameras were very different then.
That's very
Like
true.
the way that this is shot and the way it looks very different to how something would be shot now.
Mm.
I've always found that quite interesting within television. Let me just stand here awkwardly.
She's in love with the Doctor Man and not you. She wants to fuck the Doctor. All right, fuck you then.
Yeah.
Take a flower.
Does he look like he needs a flower? There's enough, color on him already.
Yeah. Well, purple signifies that they're rich, isn't it? Purple was a
Does it?
rich color back in that time.
Yeah, but
If
so was
someone was
having a
wearing
pineapple.
purple, it means they were rich. Oh. Oh,
Oh.
nice one.
I do find it funny. You can always tell when he has the teeth in and when he doesn't because his front lip is just slightly protruding. So you can always tell when they've got the teeth in or not because they're like they're kind of they're holding it in. There's something so
For
simple.
Venice, they've got very British accents.
Yeah, okay. Well, the TARDIS translates things to English,
Nice excuse.
but I don't know. Well, I mean, this doesn't happen a lot in this era, but in the RTD era, the early stuff, a lot of the aliens were Welsh because
Nice.
I was going to say I nearly said R.T. Davies. Russell T Davies is Welsh, so they filmed it in Cardiff. So a
Oh,
lot of
sorry.
actors were. It's fine. It is pretty creepy. See, those dresses look much
Oh,
better now.
hello. The escort.
That's the first Doctor. I didn't notice
Is
that
it?
before. Yeah. He's that was something I haven't noticed before, is that he's given him the psychic paper. Of course he has. He's being blind to things I've seen 100 times.
Oh, don't smile. That's weird.
It is creepy.
Oh, okay.
Cut away so we can fix the teeth. Do you see what I mean by the whole horny thing
Kiss.
yet?
Kiss. 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 Rory's ruining it.
Does that count as like three or or one?
Look, they touch each other. You can
Yeah,
see the tension.
that is kind of a key bit of Rory's
Yeah.
character currently, is that he's always feels like he's playing second fiddle to
Mm.
Doctor. And even the writing like sort of proves that he is
Yeah.
sometimes, because obviously he has to be the Doctor. Not going to sit on that. That was definitely dubbed. His back was directly against us.
Oh.
Yeah, when your fiance's standing right flipping next to you.
Ha. Ooh. I saw you do it then. Done it.
And
Driver.
I'm a driver. My sister. Cheers. He nailed that. Sliming his way over to her.
Turning her into a vampire.
Slowly turning her into a vampire. Although, the thing I haven't really understood about this episode is one, why does that shirt fit him so well?
Yeah, that's true.
Rory's not a big guy. He's very skinny, but he's very muscly, that bloke. But anyway, completely distracted. What's always confused me is the way that the vampire origin story works within this episode. It's a bit odd because she's then talking about how they're injected with something essentially. And I was like, what, can't you just bite them? But I suppose now I think about it, it does follow in the episodes a little bit with the plot. But I just feel like if you're doing vampires, I think you've got to do something interesting with them because of how obviously generic vampires could be. It's probably the fault of the episode, to be fair. That's where it becomes generic.
He does, but not now.
Oh, what? Where did he come from?
What?
That's not actually what happened, but
No, it's not.
not properly.
No.
Maybe that got tweaked a bit or something like that, because that wouldn't be how I would have recalled it. Or maybe the doctor's trying to be polite for once.
Psychic paper.
Yeah, psychic paper's the thing that the doctor has that means he can walk into places.
Oh.
It means that he can pretend to be like kings so that he doesn't end up as a poor person. No one knows who he is. Essentially, it's just a plot device, if not anything else. There's nothing wrong with a dick joke. That seems a little bit dark for 6:30, 7:30 on a Saturday night.
Elstead, brilliant. I love that. That's my favourite joke so far.
This script is much funnier than I expect or I've realised it was. I love the way they turn around and expose the teeth. So bad.
Casual.
I was going to say something. Well, the same thing. I was going to say something quite rude there, but then quickly backed out of it. Oh, it's the teeth. The teeth. I find the teeth really creepy, and the way they act it. Look where he puts his finger there, right in the gap of his teeth. Something about the way that they act with those teeth is just terrifying.
Your miss has already been bitten, so.
Yeah, a bit late, mate.
Oh, that's true though. That's so true though.
Never mind.
Oh, okay. Hello.
I was gonna
Tricky
say
women.
that kind of like moral duty that the Doctor has, where essentially everyone he knows dies, is is something that they don't talk about enough within Doctor Who and don't do enough stories about. I suppose
Hmm.
you can't do much more on it apart from the fact that it will happen. There's inevitability to the end of the adventures. But I find that guilt and that the survivor's guilt of the Doctor quite interesting. And that line, that little exchange is, I think, a good representation of that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
I like it how it has like that that neck thing. You know what I mean? It has that.
Hmm.
Ah.
That's good news. What's wrong with you people? Yeah.
Aha, got you now. I mean, that shirt though,
Muscular man, help.
it just looks weird because it's just so incredibly tight on him, probably.
Oh shit.
Ah,
Well, help him, don't stand.
no, he's got to act. No, you've got to lock off your visual effects shot. Sad. Give her a poke, mate.
Yes.
Give her a poke.
Oh, lost in that fucking water.
Oh! See?
Bye bye.
Yeah. Oh, she's back. Quick, screen time. And I've gone.
Oh, good guy.
He just clapped.
Just the way he clapped.
Right. I wonder why he was not in the water with the other brothers.
Hmm.
Like, was he the reject? Didn't quite fit in. He was the black sheep of the family.
Pronounce, pronounce.
Am I hearing feedback? Just then. Ah. Every little detail is thought out. The to you, the silence doesn't mean anything, but it's mentioned a few times previously in the series or this series.
The only thing that I can feel I can relate to me is the cracks, which was the cracks in the wall, but is that unrelated?
Not to this, but that's contained within this series, the cracks.
Yeah.
So that is essentially what they're talking about. Yeah, is that they came through those cracks in the wall.
Yeah.
But there was mention of something called the silence, which is something that doesn't appear to the next series.
She's got really dry lips. It's annoying me.
Yeah, she
Have
has
some
very
lip
dry
balm.
lip. Yeah,
She sucks on enough bloody blood.
I know. I suppose it's not exactly water.
Yeah.
You make her lips red all the time.
Oh.
And kiss.
Kiss. Kiss. Kiss.
2.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
There's a bit more than kissing, I think, in that thought process. Oh, it's that guy again. There he comes.
Man with weird hats back. Yeah, fuck's sake, Carlo.
Yeah. Go away. Your hat
Fuck's
looks
up with you,
crap.
Carlo.
Yeah. Makes your head look funny.
Oh, okay. Mummy.
Mummy.
Carlo's like, what the fuck? Carlo's face.
Look at his huge eyes.
Oh. No, she definitely went. No. Mm. Fish people.
That's
Fish people.
no, they are fish people.
Told you.
Yeah, that wasn't fish people. Flood Venice and fish people are very different statements.
Okay. Tinder, but for fish
Yeah,
people.
Tinder, but for fish people. Because all the women have not made the trip, essentially.
Fish people.
Fish from space. Oh, look, they can't run though. They just have to look menacingly in the window like jellyfish, like floating around. Ah! Ah! If only they got the angles correct with that shot, that would look really cool. If all of the fish people were in the were in the places that all the girls are in, that would have worked well. That's one of those things you notice when you watch something too many times, is that people's placements aren't quite right. Some, continuity. Chicken. That's weird. We mentioned chickens earlier.
Muscular man takes on creepy woman.
He's just clocked what's going on.
That motherfucker did.
And so's the visual effects budget after that. How expensive it is to do an explosion. And now we've reached the climax of the episode. She's going to flood Venice, but she's going to do it with the sky. She's going to make it rain for ages. For absolutely ages. Not like flood Venice, which is something that I think can or is going to happen soon, is that Venice will eventually end up underwater.
Mm.
I've heard. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
That's rude.
You see? See why I did it? He was trying to save her.
You saving her? I know that would be rude.
Yeah. Well, it's the companions always ignore him. They always just, it's like, don't wander off, and they wander off. So it was the stern hand trying to hold him back, I guess. He's doing it all for Rory because he realizes that Rory's right. She's trying to impress him.
Mm.
Whee! John! It's like Sherlock. Mm-hmm. She's going to leave them all.
Oh, creepy man. Oh,
For
it's the
some
same
reason,
alleyway, isn't it?
it's the
Oh,
yes.
he's had it.
He's been in for a swim, hasn't he? But his clothes are dry.
Yeah.
But he has been for a swim. Well, relatively dry anyway.
Such a shit description. Yeah. SpongeBob.
A shit what? Sorry? Huh?
Oh shit.
Mummy?
My mum. Mummy.
Do you think he's dubbed his lines
He
with
was
those teeth
definitely
in?
breastfed too late.
Did
Mummy.
did you just say something about he's Jack Whitehall? Did you just say something like mummy?
Bitty.
Oh yeah. I can do that.
Amy's like, oh no.
They're fighting over me.
You literally say careful to him.
I do like how Rory
Not fucking
is
helping.
more of he's more of a pacifist and sort of more of a gentleman gentleman compared to this bloke with the sword who's like a bit of a show off. He's essentially an arsehole. Yeah. Yeah.
Fish man.
Fish man.
Yeah.
I've fallen over. Oh, I'm down.
Oh my god.
Yum, yum, yum. Ah.
Oh.
Could we not get one final mummy? Was that not possible? Just mummy. What an idiot.
Oh. Okay. Like fuck. I don't know why he's shocked by that. He's literally marrying her.
No.
He should have got more than that.
He was just blown away.
Me.
Oh dear. That's the bloke in the silly hat, I believe, running away. That took me a while to notice. Is that's the bloke that we've been making fun of with his silly hat the entire episode? He's running away.
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure how that works in terms of tectonic plates, but hey.
Yeah, don't worry about the earthquakes. Worry about the tsunami.
Yeah, well, yeah. Big flood coming. Sword, perhaps. I like how Rory's pretending like he knows what he's doing. That just touches the end and then touches the panel. It's essentially a weather converter. Bang. Ugh. I mean, the wind would mean that it would just keep going again, to be honest. But yeah. Here we go. Got a climber thing if you're the doctor. So they've never seen rain before, that extra.
Look, it's Lincoln.
Here we go. Just go to our nearest green screen studio and throw some water on him.
Oh, do you remember the game show Golden Balls?
Yeah.
It's like that.
He's got. You have to rescue
much
them
money
all.
is in there?
You have to
He's trying to win a fiver.
There's a switch.
Is that it? Just
Yeah,
one
there was a
switch
switch.
to turn it off.
There was a switch. It turned it off. Well, I mean, they popped the chair and everything apart.
Woo!
The golden balls has been restored.
How's it get down?
There.
Great CGI.
Work it out later.
Fishwoman. Oh, she knows she's gonna die.
Well, no, that's perception filter. It means that she's stuck as human, I believe.
Oh.
Although I'm pretty sure that's not how perception filters work. But hey, I'm pretty sure they change perception, not physical biology. But hey.
Oh, she's getting in.
Yeah. Well, if the children don't feed, then they'll die. But they're gonna die anyway. It's the only thing she can do. Is jump in herself.
Yes. Why would you want to dream of the vampire people?
Because then they will be remembered. Because essentially, I don't know how the hell you're going to get them out of that water, but they'll die because they've got no girlfriends. Their genes pool will end there. That's it for that race. It won't affect.
Well, at least if they've got vegetables.
There's another chicken. There's a chicken. We're not eating the chicken. We're leaving the chicken. Maybe I can give you away.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are.
Exactly.
It's very odd.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun.
Sure, what that is.
That was a good transition.
Well, I remember distinctly in a little Doctor Who magazine, they had that was a hint that so there's cracks throughout the series, and you see them throughout the series. You were talking about the cracks earlier. Well, apparently that was one of them. Because it's not actually a keyhole; it's in the shape of the crack. So, but I suppose in a key form.
Yeah.
Right. I can't remember. I don't listen next time trailers on these things anymore.
Well, that's it for my DVD.
Yeah, that would be it for that one. Our next episode, you can't see it, but is Amy's Choice, which is an interesting one. Yeah, that's what it's called.
I genuinely thought it was actually my choice. I thought that's what you meant.
No.
I genuinely thought the next episode is my choice. I get picked.
No, yeah, episode 7 is called Amy's Choice. And it's quite an interesting one. I really loved that one. I said I
quite like that actually.
I said I wouldn't talk about how I feel about episodes beforehand.
Yeah, to not make me biased.
But yeah, the Vampires of Venice is a very, very good episode, I think. I think that the only issue with it is that the ending is slightly anticlimactic. It is like I flicked a switch and that did it. But everything else, I think, in the episode, I think is quite good. And I think that
that's why I said that was a bit weird.
Yeah, if the ending wasn't so abrupt, then I think that it would work really well. But to me, there's nothing that stands out that could be a better ending to me. So I suppose that it was just it was, they defeated the the vampire girls in the inner explosion. I suppose it was just kind of like the loose ends. Like kind of if you combine it, it's not that bad of a resolution. But yeah. So you say you quite liked it. What did you think about this fish people? And of course, at the beginning of this, I said that the episode is very horny. And how do you feel about that statement?
It actually wasn't.
Well, I think
It wasn't. Oh, it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. There wasn't much tension, to be honest. I feel like the other few episodes we've watched, there's been more tension in the other ones than in this one.
This was definitely
the only bit
that
I feel like was that bit at the end, just before it all happened with Fishwoman, and when I was going kiss. That
the little confrontation that they had.
that's the only bit I felt like. By the way, I've got my retainer in. That's why I sound like a.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I think that I think it is one of the funnier, light-hearted scripts. I think because we laughed at a lot of the jokes that are made within this episode, and I can't say that we laughed like a lot at the others.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree. The humor was more in this,
and I
that's
think
what I prefer.
Yeah, but it's quite a silly idea though, anyway, and I think that sometimes it's played up to it a bit. You know, like how that bloke who I can't remember the actor's name, but he's in Father Brown, kind of swans around all the girls, and the way he keeps saying "mummy" is like not taken to be particularly seriously. He's supposed to be a bit of a mummy's a boy.
Yeah.
on purpose. But I think overall, I think the story's like pretty solid, and I do quite enjoy it, even though I know it's a bit silly. I can't help but enjoy it. I think that's kind of the issue with some of the episodes like this with Doctor Who is that it can go either way depending on how much you like it. And I think for you, if you're watching these, coming back to them, for the first time, without that sort of preconception of whether you're going to like it or not, I think it can be quite fascinating to see whether it can depend on your mood, essentially, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm a fan. Where would you say it fits within your ranking of episodes?
How many have you watched so far?
6.
No, we've not.
We have watched.
Actually,
you were talking about this earlier. We have watched 6 episodes.
I thought it was like 4. Okay, right. We're gonna have to go through them again because I can't remember.
I'm just looking for I have a notes page. Amy's reviews. I've only got 2 at the minute. Hang on.
Brilliant.
No, I can't seem to find it. But I can't find the exact note page. But from what I remember, you put episode 1. You said was very good, so you really enjoyed that, and I think you kept that one at the top the entire time.
Do you remember that one? I think I do remember that one. Yeah, and I think that is my favorite.
You said you didn't particularly like the second episode. The third episode you said you liked. The 4th and 5th episode, I think, were a little bit of a mix for you. But overall, you didn't hate them. I think I wrote decent. But overall wasn't really for you. So what do you think about episode 6 then?
I would give it a solid. I'm thinking 5 or 6, just because I didn't hate it.
Really?
I didn't hate it, but I also wasn't like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? I'm thinking 6.
You're thinking a 6. See, I would probably go for a 7.
Yeah, I knew.
I think 7 is where it kind of fits. I think there's some issues with it, but I think overall it's pretty good. So would you say it's better than the 11th hour, or well, I would say maybe. Would you say this is your second favorite, or would you put it as third favorite, below the Dalek episode?
Third.
You'd put it third. Okay,
yeah.
Interesting, fascinating.
I prefer the Dalek one.
You prefer the Dalek one? Okay.
Yeah, because I know they're such big characters. I like learning about them.
Okay, it'd be interesting with the whole World War II setting. Yeah, maybe.
I was to say they're quite familiar to you, so it's not as like whoa. But for me, it's new, so that's why I think I enjoy the Daleks a bit more.
And I think that when Russell T Davies left, he did this sort of big thing with the Daleks. His last series was essentially Endgame. So
Yeah.
with Daleks, and they brought back a whole bunch of companions. It was bonkers. We will get to it at some point, but I will have to make you watch a lot of the previous series. But when that episode came on, it was like it was promised to kind of be to reinvent a lot of the Daleks, and I feel like it didn't. It reinvented them, but lacked the story because of that. Because it was just focusing on making these colored Daleks, which
Yeah.
over time you will notice that they look on them less favorably as we go on. But as I was saying, our next episode is Amy's Choice, which is episode 7.
And not me.
Obviously, I won't. It's very confusing. It won't. I won't say anything about it. But it does feature Toby Jones.
Who?
Toby Jones. Do you remember Sherlock Series 4? There is in episode 2. There's a man who is kind of like Moriarty. You probably recognize him if you saw him. He's a very good
Right,
British
let me Google
actor.
it.
He's been in he's in Harry Potter's. I think he
What's
must
his
be in
name?
Harry Potter's. Toby Jones. I think he's
Oh, that's his actual name. That's not the
Yeah.
character name.
no, yeah. I think actually in Harry Potter he plays a goblin, so you won't actually see, or a house elf, so you actually wouldn't see him.
Oh, him!
Yes, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's in that
Small
episode,
man.
Small Man, and it's also about sort of dreams and reality, and it's sort of surreal. So that would be interesting for you to watch. It's quite a fascinating story, that one. So, and if you get kind of goes along with this one quite nicely. So, but anyway, that will be in a little while. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you enjoyed our bizarre conversations either side of it. Until next time, there's nothing else really to say apart from the fact that the podcast is available on a whole bunch of platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, and I have a whole new scripted podcast, which is called The Wonders of the Universe, which is like an audiobook thing that I've written, and it is not starting just yet, but it shall be starting maybe in the next year or so. Well, I hope so. Before the end of the year, it should be starting. And the first track, if you want to hint at that, is available now. You can find that on my profile, because it's all on the same site, or I'll put a link to it down in the description for you to see it. But Amy, thank you very much for making an appearance again. I hope
No
you're enjoying
problem.
Doctor
I will
Who.
be back.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be. I don't know when, but you'll be. But until next time, thank you very much for listening, and we shall see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.